Hi, my name is Hugh Trimble. I'm with the Regional Multiple Listing Service. I'm the Rules and Regulations Administrator for North Star MLS. And what I'm going to do today is kind of go over a few of the commonly violated rules of the MLS. Make sure that your listing is entered into the system within 3 days. If it is not going to be entered into the system within 3 days, please send a certification with hold. One of those two things has to happen within 3 days, otherwise the listing is late and they will fine automatically. Make sure that your supplements are clean and do not contain any contact information or promotional information. Anything that goes out to the public must be in regards to the property and the characteristics of the property and nothing promotional. The biggest issues in the MLS and the rules and regulations have been listings not going in on time and the supplements that go into the MLS. Banks are asking agents to put in supplements that quite frankly sometimes actually kind of violate the public remarks rules as far as names, contact information, and so on. Now, unfortunately, the banks do not have to follow the rules of the MLS, but the agents of the MLS do. So when these things are entered, they can easily get the agents fined. So make sure that the supplements that you attach, that banks are asking you to attach, are MLS approved. Also, make sure that your financial remarks and things of that nature are clean. Your MLS has also added a section in the database for manufactured homes that must be answered. Also, as far as properties, that they have also added a section for foreclosures and properties that are lender owned. Now, in order to disclose this information, you must get the permission of the homeowner. Properties that are in the MLS must be for rent or trade. Make sure that the properties that you put in there are for sale. Do not put rent to own or properties leased to own in the MLS, because that is not what the MLS database is meant for. Variable rates are between the homeowner and the MLS. Corrections that must be made in your listing, the MLS will send a notice over and you will have 48 hours to correct. If it is not corrected within 48 hours, the MLS may send an automatic fine. So make sure that you are receiving the notices to correct. Notices are sent to the broker, never to the agent. Make sure that you upload a photo to any and all of your listings. All listings will require a photo, and I must stress this, the status is not the issue. If the listing is expired the next day, it will still require a photo. The status is not the issue. If the photo is not there, you will receive an automatic $15 fine from the RMLS, and if it's not there 48 hours from the time that happens, another fine will be sent for $100, raising it to $115. Make sure that you change your statuses. If the property is no longer available for showing, please, if you're not ready to pend it, then put the property as temporarily not available for showing. Once a property is put into pending, you will add put in a projected closing date. If the projected closing date goes 30 days past what the date you put in, make sure that you move it out until when you think the property may close. Promotional information is never allowed in the MLS database, so make sure that your public remarks or anything that goes out to the public is strictly about the property. Do not put in ads for promotional companies such as the bank, financial institutions, most moving companies, etc. Fax numbers, email addresses, what have you, are not allowed to go out to the public in any way, shape, form, or fashion, nor are you allowed to link out from your database. Make sure that your virtual tour companies are unbranded and the virtual tour does not link out even back to the provider, because it is, again, an automatic fine. Make sure that the photos that you put in are appropriate, and never copy another agent's photos, because it is an automatic fine if you copy another agent's photos. Make sure that you keep your MLS ID password private. Do not give this out to anyone other than, well, your secretary or your team. Make sure that you have confirmation to any property that you go to visit. Make sure that you are getting confirmations to visit any property. Do not enter any property without proper confirmation. If you do enter a property without proper confirmation, the association as well as the RMLS can fine you up to $2,000. So make sure that you are getting confirmations for any properties that you go into. Commissions in the MLS must be unconditional. In other words, you cannot put conditions on the commission. You cannot put information into the MLS database stating that the commission will only be paid on closing costs, or will not be paid on closing costs, or will only be paid on the net. And last but not least, make sure that any website that you have out there does not indicate that you are the MLS. For instance, you cannot have MLS in the URL, nor can you have search engines that say search the MLS. They should state that they are looking at your database and your listings only, and that you are participants of the MLS organization and not the MLS. I know that I've gone over a lot of information very quickly here, but if there are any questions in regards to any of the things that I have said or talked about, please do give me a call. Feel free to give me a call anytime at the RMLS. My direct dial number is 651-251-3205. Thank you and have a great day, and I look forward to talking to you.